Welcome to our YouTube channel, Life of Paradise Faith, Uplift, and Motivate. My name is Victor. In today's video, I would like to talk to you about how crime doesn't pay because you will feel the wrath of God. Some of us think or would like to get into a life of crime or are looking for a quick payday. I'm here to tell you that crime doesn't pay, never has, and never will. Now, some of you might get lucky and hit a quick payday. Make an enormous amount of money. By robbing a bank or whatever illegal crimes that you're thinking of doing. However, let me tell you, ill-gotten wealth is temporary. You will, and make no mistake about it, you will feel the wrath of God. I heard this story about the largest Ponzi scheme in the United States. Actually, it was in the United States, but I believe it is actually the largest Ponzi scheme in the whole world. And it's a relatively recent event by Bernard Madoff. Now, Bernard Madoff was originally on Wall Street in New York. And when he first started as a stockbroker, his business was perfectly illegal. I'm sorry, perfectly legal. But then, and he was really doing very well when his business was a legal entity. But then he started to get greedy and turned into a life of crime by creating these fake stock transactions where he would buy and sell stocks that didn't originate, that never existed. And again, I want to stress that I mean, I don't know what to think about him. He passed himself off as being enormously intelligent, but what he did was enormously foolish because, again, when he was legally selling stocks and bonds, he was doing better than most people. He was having a very good life, but then he just became greedy and completely ruined it all. And this is a perfect textbook example of how crime doesn't pay, how you will feel the wrath of God. Because now his crime was so enormous, he cheated and ripped off so many people for billions of dollars, all the people that he ripped off. The amount of money that he ripped off was well into the billions. It's staggering how many lives he ruined. Now, while he was having a good life himself, or let's say people might think that he was having a good life, I'm sure, make no mistake about it, he knew that it's only a matter of time. He's living with that fear that he would get caught. So even if it appears that he was living in this beautiful mansion, having luxury mansions in Palm Beach, Florida, in France, having a beautiful yacht, a beautiful mansion in Montauk, out in eastern Long Island. Um, it appeared, while in all appearances, it does appear that he has a fabulous life of wealth, a life of privilege. Again, in his mind, he must have been having a tortured mind, knowing that he would get caught, and he did. Now he got caught and sent to prison, I believe, in his early to mid 70s, and he was in prison for about 8 or 9 years until he died. And as I was saying in the title, "Don't commit crime; you will feel the wrath of God." Although he did get caught a little bit later in life when he was in 70s, let me tell you how what the wrath of God is in this case. His first son committed suicide because of his father's crime, because of the shame and the stigma attached to the Madoff name. And if that is not an enormous blow in itself, his second son died of cancer. This is what I mean by the wrath of God. Crime never pays. Always conduct yourself the right way and receive the blessings of the Lord. And at the same time, in all your business transactions, you never want to cheat the other person. You always want to be fair. Because in business, you're profiting yourself, you're benefiting yourself, but you're not benefiting the other party. For example, in a real estate transaction. Now, some people say, "Oh, I made a killing in this transaction." You might have made an enormous amount of money, But what about the other person? Not so. As much as you benefit, they don't. So it's always good to be fair in every transaction. I don't think it's necessarily correct to make a killing in any real estate transaction. I think it's much better to always be fair. That's it for this edition of Life of Paradise: Faith, Uplift, and Motivate. Until next time, take care, everybody.